Afterparty. My name's Cath,
And I'm Nick.
and today you'll be absolutely delighted to hear that we are going to talk about revision. Have you heard that word before? Some people call it a bad word, revise, 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 but it's what
And
makes
revise.
things beautiful. And revise. Take it away, Nick.
Oh my gosh, I take it away. Oh gosh, it's just an avalanche of revision, isn't it?
Sometimes it is.
I mean, to me, I maybe because I don't start with a huge outline to begin with when I go to write the actual first draft. Maybe that's like the problem. I don't know what the problem is, but when it comes to revision, I usually have to have three, like three, sometimes four. Then there's minor tweaks. Yeah, I it's challenging. Revision is challenging. I'm not gonna lie. But I think the thing is like the idea of like reading your whole piece after you're done with the first draft is so exciting, right? And then you're like, oh, and usually there's not like a ton wrong with that. It's not working. Story wise, like it's working as far as sometimes the characters, it's working, the plot's there, like all the bones are there, which is great, right? Because like that's what you need. I mean, if there was no bones, then it would just be a rewrite, which I've done before too. I'm guilty. But if the bones are there and it's, all the, Joyce used to call it the house, the house is built. Now it's just about putting the furniture in and rearranging the furniture and seeing, making it a home. And that's a really good analogy. I love that analogy about, revision. But this last revision with my writing partner, we were on FaceTime, I think, for close to 5 hours. 5 hours. That was a long session.
Wait, because you're writing this book with a partner.
Yes. So this is the book I'm discussing today is a book I'm writing with a writing partner. So there's a little bit different than.
Yeah, I would say it's a lot different because you've got not only two perspectives, but you've got two personalities and you've got different
Yeah.
genders and you've got different genders in the book. Yes, carry on.
Yeah. Sometimes we have different visions for certain scenes too.
Of
Like
course.
we always are so like cautious of asking before we change anything, and I never want to change anything in like necessarily in his scene with his voice, but there are times where I need to in order to get to where I want to change the scene in my scene. And so we have given each other liberty to do that in a certain way, but then
Oh, it's so hard.
it's so challenging. And because I love and adore this person so much, I never ever want to make them feel like, like I'm changing your work or I'm taking responsibility for your, and vice versa, so there's just a lot to this process, writing with a writing partner. I mean, it's so much fun though. It really is. And it's really half the work. I mean, it really is half the work, but there is a lot of challenge, and my timer isn't on.
Mine is carry on. Mine is carry on.
Talk about revision. I need a new timer. But okay, so yesterday we're kind of at the final stages, right? So this is like where you're really nitpicking. For us, we found in the final stages, which is so devastating, that there was a timeline issue. And so we had to move some chapters up and put some chapters down. And
Ooh, that's huge.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was like adding an addition to your house. So like if your house is built and you got all the furniture in there, now you're like, let's just demolish the kitchen and put a new kitchen. Oh my gosh.
No, but what you're doing actually is like putting the kitchen in the bedroom and connecting the bathroom to the sunroom. Oh my word. If you're moving around that much stuff,
And
that's,
all the
that's
plumbing
a
has to be
nightmare.
yeah, it was. And we still have one tiny timeline that we're still like kind of going back and forth on too. Like there's a decision that has to be made about a certain timeline. And we're kind of at a crossroads because I don't know what I want to do with that timeline, and he's not sure what he wants to do with that timeline. So
You're both in shock. You need to go away and you need to lick your wounds. For the last 2 minutes of this particular episode, um, explain to us how you both felt and how you think that slipped between the cracks.
I think what happened, and this is and we are both being very honest with each other yesterday, which I appreciated so
You have
much,
to be.
is our last revision, we both kind of added a little bit here and there. And because we added stuff that wasn't in the original's first draft, it wasn't in the original second revision, it kind of threw everything a little bit askew. And I added a couple conversations with his character in my scene that we realized, oh my gosh, we have to build that back now. Like that's missing. That this conversation couldn't have happened if he didn't have the previous conversation, which he didn't have. So it's like, oh, that's true. Like she wouldn't have this information to have this conversation yet. So but we loved the scene so much, the way I had built it. He was like, I think we should just add it to the front because this is so good and so powerful, and you did such a good job with this conversation that I think that we do need to go back and give her that information in the front so that she can have this conversation. Does that make sense?
That sort of makes sense. I think now we're going to pause right here, come back for part 2 on revision because there's so much more to revision. This was like the shocker of all shockers of revision, right? Love you,
Yeah.
life friends. Come back for part 2.
Part 2. Love you right in front.